February 4th, NXT, and the shock return of a TNA superstar, but used to be, I would say, kind of a weird fan favorite in the WWE. And of course, I'm talking about the person on the thumbnail. Fandango. So we talk about that, but obviously there was some pretty big developments on NXT. So we're going to jump in and talk about it because I really enjoyed this show. I can't lie. It started off with the first match of Stephanie Vacker versus JC Jane. It feels weird. Obviously, JC Jane feels like the leader of this group, but she's not the champ in this group. Fallon Henley. And it's like Fallon Henley's like, when they walk out, she's to the side. Fallon Henley's the champ. She should be in the middle, in my opinion. But that little tidbit. Look, good match. It started off with Steffi Vacker kind of dominating the match. Obviously, then shenanigans as you can expect. Fallon Henley pulling her off the apron, having a stare down. She's pointing at the title, and then JC Jane kicking her in the face. And from there, JC Jane dominating the match and what have you. Obviously, towards the end of the match, it's just chaos. It was a good match. I really enjoyed this, and it was a lot of strong strikes, a lot of quite brutal strikes, and obviously then Steffi Vacker hitting JC Jane with a 619, and then with a springboard crossbody for a 2 count. I can't lie, for a 2 count, which surprised me. It got broken up by Jasmine Nix. Vacker headbutts her, super kicks JC Jane, connects with the SVB. It's pinfall time. There you go. There's some backstage segments surrounding the women's tag team locker room. But we go into the next segment, which is the segment that we've all wanted me to talk about at least, which is the Lexis King Heritage Cup segment. He's coming out there and he's giving kind of like, I don't know, he was like a face, then he was a heel, then he was a tweener, then face, then heel, then tweener, and then this was a bit more of a heel promo, talking about how can we be so humble. I'm on the path to being the biggest superstar in professional wrestling, going off all that stuff, and then the music hits and Fandango appears, or JDC from the System, if you know TNA wrestling, and great promo. It's great to see Fandango back. I really liked him. Obviously, hey, the guy beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Don't forget that now. And they set up a future match between them next week for the Heritage Cup. So, hey, good news. Then you had Ridge Holland versus Stax. Yeah, Ridge won this match. The crowd seemed dead. I don't know why. They seemed so dead, and it wasn't a great match, if I'm honest. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy this match. But yeah, Ridge wins by pinfall. Third match of the night is Sol Ruka and Zarya versus Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. This was a much better match. There was a weird moment where Tatum Paxley sort of laying down, it's a stretch for your ankles, but laying down on her back with her feet underneath her. And Sol Ruka's bounced off the ropes and then flips over the top of her. And I'm thinking, I get the idea you want to show off athleticism within the ring. That, for me, I was like, what did I just watch there? That's such a waste. She was laying down for like 15 seconds and you're just flying around on the ropes and doing flips over her. Show athleticism, but don't waste time doing it. That's my attitude with this one. I'm normally really positive, but I was watching it like, what? I must be missing something here because that's a waste of my time watching that. The match was good though. Zarya, lots of power from Zarya. A lot of quite stiff strikes as well. I can't lie in this match, but it does end with Zarya clotheslining Gigi Dolan, tags in Ruka. Zarya catches Paxley midair, hits the F5, but into Gigi. So, you're thinking hitting the F5 and that's it, hitting into Gigi. And then Sol Ruka hits the Soul Snatcher to pick up the victory. And look, it's a good match. Obviously, it's a weird one with Zarya because obviously coming in with, I thought, real excitement. It's such a difficult one because you've got Julia and Stephanie Vacker at the same time. And the women's NXT, roster is stacked. It's absolutely stacked. And I think it's one of the best rosters, actually, in all of wrestling. That's how good I think the women's NXT locker room is. But no, good match. Obviously, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, match at Vengeance Day. That's been announced, which is good. I'm liking their rivalry. The Julia, Bailey, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade segment with Charlotte Flair, not in the ring, but Bailey and Roxanne Perez going back and forth, saying, I looked at you as a role model. I don't see that anymore. I was so good in the Royal Rumble. You said you'd come back to mentor me. You've actually only come back for the NXT Championship because you got your ass kicked on SmackDown and you can't do it on Raw. Bailey obviously bounces back, telling her to shut up and what have you. Julia comes down, basically proclaiming, hey, I'm not losing this time. I'm going to beat you at Vengeance Day. No one, one of you will survive the beautiful madness. That was a cold line. And then Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair comes down, kind of saying, like, I'm NXT homegrown. All right, I'm from here, The last time I won the Royal Rumble, I selected the NXT champion, which was Rhea Ripley. And she even said, she was like, hey, Roxanne, if you get to WrestleMania as that champion, just know you'll finish second again. Which I was like, ooh, cold. I like it. And I really enjoyed this promo. This is kind of like more of a heel-ish promo from Charlotte Flair for sure. Cora Jade comes down, though, comes out of nowhere. Kendo sticks, just whipping the crap out of Bailey and Julia. And then swings for Roxanne Perez. So a little bit of a turn there, which I'm liking. Fourth match of the night was Kalani Jordan versus Carmen Petrovic. This ended with Carmen Petrovic winning via a referee decision because she basically was getting choked out. She tapped out, but Jordan wouldn't let go. So referee reverse decision, Carmen won. It all came really because of Kalani Jordan getting in her minds, getting in her heads, and yeah, it was a good match. Actually, do you know what? I was watching it and I thought, it feels a bit dead. It feels a bit naff. But then I sort of rewatched it back and I was actually, no, this wasn't a bad match at all. The crowd seemed just knackered by this point. I don't know what. Maybe I missed something. Maybe they tailgated out front beforehand, but they seemed a bit tired for this match. I don't know why, but it was a good match. I think, Carmen winning but being choked out obviously is not a great look, but she won with Kalani Jordan looking a little bit more aggressive, which I think is necessary. It's needed. Weirdly, I think both of them come out looking okay. Weirdly. And the last match of the night is Obafemi, Trick Williams versus A-Town Down Under. Great match. Really enjoyed this match. It's Oba and Trick, Oba cutting off Trick's entrance. Oba and Trick just, when they're tagging in, they're basically throwing slaps and shots at one another. You see the rivalry between them. Obafemi, by the way, should not move the way he moves for a guy that size. He does a stacked double Samoan drop with both these guys on his back, and it's not like he gets them back, he gets them both up, and then just falls with them, gets them, walks around in the ring, and then drops them. And it's like, dude, you should be able to do some of the stuff you do. And the worst, the beautiful thing was when I was watching that moment, is that he took them from the corner, walked them into the middle of the ring, and then dropped them. It wasn't like his legs were buckling underneath him. It looked like he could carry another person. The guy's a freaking monster, honestly. And look, I'm an Oba guy. A-Town Anna does win this one with Eddie Thorpe interfering with a strap, slapping Trick on the back. Waller obviously comes in, counters, and wins with the roll through flatliner. Eddie, after the match, attacks Trick even more, which I didn't mind. It was a great match. To be honest, it was a great match overall. I really enjoyed it, so I didn't mind that bit in the end. I think when we look at this match, sorry, not this match, this show compared to last week, I actually think it was better than last week, which I enjoyed last week. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago was title glory, titles left, right, and center. But I enjoyed this show. Thought it was good. New developments and storylines, Cora Jade turning. I liked it. Let me know what you think down below. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Peace.